Alright, I am back for part two of, what is this, analysis number 7? Awesome. So if you guys have any questions about the first three games, which have all been Terran against Protoss, we started with the Platinum game, then we moved on to Diamond, and then onto a Korean Masters level contender. And, well, if you have any questions about those games, now is the time to post. No questions? Alright, well, follower, we are doing you next. So, here we go. Let's see, let's get out of this last replay. Alright, so now we have Follower, who's playing as our red Zerg player, who's spawned at the bottom left-hand position here. And his opponent is Protoss, who is Snorlax, playing as a blue guy at the top right. So there's cross positions on, I believe it's a Crypt, Nas, Nas something Crypt, I don't know, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. You guys know what the map it is. What the map is. But anyways, we're not going to be looking at Snorlax. We're going to be following Follower. So we are going to put it on his cam, see what he's up to. Overload's coming out on 9. Drone's coming out right as you get 50. Very nice. This is a diamond level play. And, well, I'm not sure if it's ladder or not. I presume it is since it is red against blue. But we'll see what goes on in here. Alright, so just cranking out some probes. Or some drones, I should say. Speed up a little bit. Alright, so now maybe you're going to be expanding, or you're going to... Okay, you're scouting. It's fine. Pool first. Alright, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. Pool is a little bit safer, for sure, so you make sure that you guarantee that you can get that hatchery going. Otherwise, you could sneak your drone around. Like, you could, like, sneak them up here and then down the ramp and then expand right as you get down there. It does take a little bit of timing and whatnot, but you can make it so he can't see you, and then maybe he goes up to your main to check for that pool, and then you just expand at that time. So I mean, it does kind of work out sometimes, but you know, maybe not. Alright, so Snorlax is going to be putting down that pylon and all that good stuff. So you are going to need a couple of Zerglings. Okay, 4 Zerglings coming out, pretty standard stuff, and then Queen as well. So you do have a lot of money saved up. I'd actually say get the pool sooner. Like, you got on 14, I'd like to see it maybe a little bit sooner. Save it. You can, you know, like, you don't have to get drones to get that pool. The pool's actually going to allow you to get more drones up quicker because you're going to have that queen out. So, well, personally, I like a 13 pool, but 12 works as well. I mean, I might switch to a 12 if I, you know, see how the timing is and all that. So, you got second queen out, that's good. You spent money on that. You're double expanding since he's doing a forge expand. I really kind of wish this... I mean, I kind of wish you saw his base sooner and see that he is expanding, then you could have gotten it up sooner. But yeah, a lot of master level players would do it this way, so I mean, I don't really mind it at all. Either way, you're going to have a lot of drones. You're just spending that extra money that you got by not having that pull up early on another expansion. So I mean, with that expansion, you're going to get up some more drones and all that. So there's the transfer going on. Let's slow it down a little bit to normal speeds. And now you're getting your gases, so that's actually a good time for your gas, considering what's all happened. So they're putting guys in the gas. You got some more guys going to that gas. So getting up 2 pretty fast gases. I would actually say maybe delay that second gas a little bit so you can crank out some extra drones. Let's have your hatcheries highlighted here. See how many larvae you got. It looks like you got 5 on your main. Try to spew sooner. You know, yeah, your drone's under attack, but spewing is going to be far more important. He's actually cannon your third right now too, so be very careful with that. So you want to definitely scout around, have a couple of Zerglings out. I mean, that's what the first 4 are for. Don't keep them all in one spot. It's good to have a couple of guys at the front yard. Actually put them over here. Just so you have better vision. This is actually not giving you very good vision, so you could actually just sneak by and you wouldn't even know about it. So this is actually not even doing anything. But yeah, keep 1 Zergling here, keep a couple at the watchtowers. You know, maybe this, or yeah, in these positions, maybe 1 here and then 1 here. and then have another one checking for pylons and probes and things around. So I mean, yeah, this is why you're going to lose this, because you didn't know that this was happening. If you did, you would have dealt with this a lot better, I'm sure. So you're throwing up another hatchery in response, which is good. Crisis management looks okay. I'd like, if you have 600 minerals, I'd say definitely have, well, yeah, first get your upgrades going and all that. Okay, you just spent it, that's fine. But the other thing you could have done is gotten up a macro hatch. Having 3 bases plus a macro hatch is pretty standard at this time. 9 minutes into the game, that's, if you're constantly producing, you can actually spend all your money and maybe get it at like 9 or 10. But you can get a little bit earlier. Now you're getting a couple of roaches for some defense. You have your zerglings at the front, so those roaches are actually a little bit unnecessary. You can just, I've gotten a couple of extra drones out and then some roaches, but I mean, if you feel safer like this, and you should feel safer like this, then yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it so much. Alright, so those cannons, I mean, it's good that you're just not attacking them. And there was a random zealot in your base scouting. Don't lose your queen. Okay, that's good, but yeah, don't lose your queen. That's a big thing. Alright, so now you got some guys just roaming around, checking things out. Zergling speed, okay, it is on the way, so that's good. You might want it a little bit sooner, but since he did expand first, it's not going to be the end of the world. And actually, since you're going roaches, you don't really need that macro hatch. But if you didn't go roaches, you could actually survive with zerglings, a +1, and an extra hatchery, so that once he moves out of his base, you can just use your zerglings to do whatever. So yeah, don't attack with your drones. It's kind of not so good. Use your move your roaches over first to deal with it. They're on your hotkey, so just like send hit 2 and then send them over, and then move your drones. Your screen should never leave this spot in that situation. Or at least, I mean, it can, but you don't have to. Alright, so now you have the watchtowers. You see his stalkers going over here on the radar. Obviously maybe you weren't looking, so maybe your units are just out of position for that reason. You don't have enough to defend this. You really don't. Some more Zerglings would have helped. He does have Blink, so that, these few roaches are not going to be able to deal with this, so this is actually not so good. So yes, I'm glad you got up another hatchery. I'm glad you got some roaches out to defend, but at the same time, you just don't have enough defense. So yeah, I just hope that you see this next time. Glance at the minimap more. That's something that takes a lot of getting used to, but glance at it. Try to make it a habit. Do whatever you gotta do to make it a habit. Just look at the minimap once in a while. And then, if you want, you can use Alt F and turn him to red. It'll turn you to green, and then you'll just be able to see it on the minimap a lot easier. Red shows up a lot better than blue, especially on this map with green terrain here. So with that in mind, you would have maybe seen that coming and been able to deal with that better. Alright, so now you have a ton of gas. What are you going to spend it on? Do you have some tech building of some sorts? You have a Spire, okay. You have a Spire, but he has a lot of Stalkers, so what do? You got more roaches, that's fine. Just get up your speed for your roaches. Do you have it? You do have it, and you have plus upgrades for them. So that's very good. I'd definitely work on your +2s right now. Try to get that up a little bit sooner. Blink is always going to be really annoying to deal with. He's doing this very mobile force. Your force is not very mobile, so it's good that you're spreading creep. I'd probably be a little bit more, spread more creep around, because this is actually not very. At this point, when you're actually losing that many roaches, you should back out, because he definitely has more stalkers. Especially with Blink Tech, you can just blink him in and out, and you're going to have trouble. So try to get him out of there as soon as possible without losing so many. And you can rejoin him with whatever else you need to. Alright, so now he probably has a pylon over here by now. Yeah, he has a pylon warping some guys. So this base is not safe at all. This is a base that you should not take, but at the same time, this one's cannoned. So what do you do? What do you do? I would actually try to take this back. There's actually a lot of pylons I invested in here that he doesn't need. So, try to take those out. Again, it'll allow him to warp in at this position, and if he has a pylon, which he does in this position, he's going to be able to harass you all over the place. So this is actually a very nice play from him. So he's playing this really well. You know, I wish he would be getting a third, even a fourth right now because he has so much freaking money. But at this point, you pretty much lost already. There's just too many stalkers, to be perfectly honest. I hate blank stalkers and just mass amounts of stalkers. But the way you deal with it is having those extra bases. You know, get up a lot of Zerglings. Zerglings are going to be awesome against it. You can use Mutos against it. And actually, a Mutos play would not be bad right now. And a lot of players think, oh, he just went mass stalker with Blink. I can't go Muta. Truth is, you still can. You can, you know. Send your Mutas over here, harass whatever you can. He even has an Artosis Pylon. You know. A couple gateways are just going down. He has a couple more going up as well. Yeah, he's going to be able to cannon. But the thing is, since he's cannoning, he's going to be spending less money on these stalkers. You know, and then if he takes a third right now, it's going to be even harder for him to deal with Mutas, because he's just going to have to put up even more cannons. So Mutas would actually be a good call right now. And especially since you are low on bases, the lower you are on bases, the higher tech you're going to want. So Infestors would be really nice right now. You know, some Infestor play with your Roaches. You know, do some fungal growth, you won't be able to blink, and then you just go in there with your Roaches and deal a bunch of damage. But at this point, you know, you have so much gas. You know, those could have, if they were Infestors, you would be better off. Roaches are actually not a bad idea against Stalkers. They're actually better than Zerglings in a lot of ways when you're dealing with mass amounts. But yeah, I see you adding on a lot of Roaches right now. You do have some extra Zerglings, which is good. They can absorb damage from your Roaches, because Stalkers do deal extra damage against Stalkers, or against Roaches. Yeah, now at this point, he pretty much has too many, so you're pretty much already lost the game, to be perfectly honest. There's really not much you can do at this point, other than use Infestors, use something that, you know, like if you're a Protoss, Dark Templar would be a good idea. You're playing against Protoss and he's using it, so I mean, so actually at the same time, he's ahead of you and he's using these you know, these little gimmicky tactics here. So you're going to be in a terrible position, you know, especially now that you lost that hatchery. So yeah, you already lost the game so long ago. He's going to get out of there like a smart Protoss. So this is actually just not working out for you anymore. You know, once you see those Blink Stalkers, and you already have a Spire, don't be afraid to use it. You know, or if you want, you can Nidus. I mean, of course, Blink Stalkers are the like fast units from Protoss. So I mean, it's not going to work out as good as you might hope, but doing it like this is not good either. So you gotta just be really careful. You don't have enough to take this on even, and he's going to be able to warp in even more and more and more. So you're really screwed at this point. But yeah, just try to keep the harass. He's sitting on 2 bases, so if you end up surviving, you're going to be sitting pretty good. But yeah, now without your natural, so you need that natural. You need to put it back up there. Right now, you have the money for it. I'd definitely plop it down. You have a lot of Roaches, and well, I mean, after you lost this hatchery here, it was a good idea to expand here. But you really need to keep up the scouting to see that he is going for Blink Stalkers, for one, and then for number 2, once you see him come out, just make sure you constantly have enough units. You really have to sacrifice making a lot of drones for a lot of Roaches and for a lot of tech stuff. So you're going to Hydralisk right now. Hydralisk is good, a good choice in this situation. You know, you have a lot of Roaches to take damage, and then you have Hydras to deal with. So I mean, that's really good. Engagement looks like it's okay. You know, he definitely has a lot though. So actually, you're going to be cleaning this up. Looks like pretty well. So yeah, at this point, expand. You know that your army's bigger. Expand. Because he's sitting on, you know, look at this base. It's almost mined out. This one's already gone. He has no third base. He's actually not sitting very well. So with that in mind, you know, you got to try to put yourself into an even better situation. For Zerg, that means having, well, I mean, you do have Macro Hash, so that's good. You can use it. You're actually not using it. I don't know if it's just not hotkeyed. Yeah, it looks like it's not hotkeyed. Kind of a blunder there. I do that all the time, so don't worry about it. But yeah, try to get up this hatchery again. And now it looks like you even lost this base, so that means you're in an even worse situation. You pretty much need these guys to defend. If you had a third base, don't worry about it. You took out his army. get up this base. That is just so important. Okay, so now you're finally taking it up. One of these guys must be making a hatchery. Yep, there he is. Okay. I mean, at that point, I'm sure you were like, okay, I got one base still, that's okay. If I'm able to just survive, I might be able to pull through. Yeah, now he looks like he's going, oh, he didn't even take out the Spire, oh man. You could have definitely transfused there, not a huge deal. Definitely a big blunder not taking out that Spire since he brought it down to one hit and then left. But, Alright, so now, I mean, it turns out okay because you didn't expand again. That's actually a good choice. You just built on a lot of roaches, and you just built on a lot of stalkers. You know, and in that situation, that's actually usually what would happen is you just have more stalkers. You wouldn't be able to do anything about it. But it looks like your economy was okay, so you were able to do that. And he just didn't spend his money wisely, and now he's getting more and more behind. So now you're coming in here to attack. And I don't know, in this situation, it feels like you should not be in this good of a position, because you really pretty much did lose the game. So he pretty much had a lot of mistakes afterwards. You know, after taking out that third so many times. You know, after the Dark Templar, you went in there, you defended, and you did all right. So I don't know. All right, so you got the base. It is finished. I'd like to see another expansion right now, to be perfectly honest. And now he has this Colossus. Actually, that's a lot of Colossus. If you see that many, and you are going to lose the game, just pull back. You could actually have won the game if this was a little bit sooner. You know, after you lost it. And you did attack in there. You killed off his stalkers up here. That was good. Don't insult his base, because these Colossus are going to be in a really good defensive position. So yeah, if you got up this base, while still having all those roaches alive, that'd be a super good position. Just have the watchtowers. If he moves out of his base, like if he moves his Colossus and his big army here to attack your main, send your roaches to his natural. Take out a little bit of stuff. Force him into a base trade. That probably wouldn't actually work out in this position all that well, but I think you would have been a little bit better off than sacrificing all your roaches up here. So yeah, pull back when you have. You know you're going to lose a battle. Pull back. You know, I hope you know that by now after watching so many replays. Sure, it was Terran against Protoss, but the same thing applies. You know, just pull back with your army if you can't take his, and play it like that. And then, of course, early on that scouting, not seeing his prop come out with these cannons. That's just going to happen sometimes if you forget. I mean, you know, once in a while you just make a mistake and forget to scout like that. Yeah, that happens. But yeah. If this continues to happen, I mean, or, you know, if you continue to forget about it, you know, just definitely make note of it, write it down, and just try to make it a habit to scout every single time. And then this won't happen, you'll just be in a better situation. So I hope you pulled something out of that game. We're going to go into our last game now. Wow. Too much coughing. We do have a question from follower. I'll just glance at the chat here between games, and he's asking, do you feel Protoss should ever get Stargate units other than a one base all in? I definitely say yes, for sure. But you have to make it work with your play. Like, for example, if you have a ton of gateways and a couple of robos and you just lost the base, and you know you're not going to be able to afford Stargate. And you know, if you have Archons and Zealots, or actually that might be okay in that situation. If you have like Colossus and a lot of Stalkers, I wouldn't go Stargate. Stargate would pretty much just be good if, for example, well, I mean, two base starport is really, or Stargate is really good. Oh, for versus Terran, okay. Let's see, versus Terran, I'd say not really. Against 111 or 222, yes, because that's mostly going to be anti-ground forces, which is why that force is so strong. It's all anti-ground, and Protoss just doesn't have anti-air. You know, if Protoss had a bunch of Void Rays with that and killed off all the Marines with the ground forces, Protoss would be in a pretty good position then, you know. Let's see. Off 3 bases. Yeah, 3 bases. I mean, against 1-1-1 or 2-2-2, that'd be fine. You can harass with them. That's gonna be good. You just can't drop with the Stargate. That's the weird thing. Like, you can pick off the units with your Phoenixes. That's fine, but Marines are really not worth it in that situation. Against tanks, Phoenixes are actually really good. That's something that fell out of style a little bit, but players used to, back when StarCraft 2 first came out, players would go tanks against Protoss, and Protoss would start getting Phoenixes to pick up the tanks, and then, Mortals and whatnot would go against the Marauders. So that might be something that comes more and more into play as 1-1-1 gets stronger, or what, depending on what Terran does. But yeah, you just gotta be careful, because those Stargate units are not huge damage dealers. Just like Mutas don't do huge amounts of damage. They are good for RAS because they're fast, and they're extra good against workers because they have that bounce. But they're not good at, they don't do huge amounts of damage. Same with, Vikings don't do huge amounts of damage. Banshees just do. I don't know. I feel like that might be a problem in the future. Blizzard might patch that, but right now it seems like it's okay. Banshees are pretty darn costly. So, I don't know. Hope that answers your question. Alright, so let's move on to the next game here. Make sure the overlay is where it should be. Okay. Now this last game, I'm not sure who our viewer is. He did not say which one he was, so I'm just going to look at it from both angles, Zerg and Protoss, and do it that way. Too much coughing right now. Alright, let's remove the overlay. It is removed indeed. Alright, so we have Valor, who is playing as our Protoss guy, a red dude, and our Zerg opponent is Technique. He's playing as our green guy, and this is on Daybreak, the MLG version. It does have the supply depot at the bottom. So Overlord's coming out, doing some scouting and all that. I believe, actually I'm not even sure what level this is at, to be perfectly honest. It might be diamond, might be higher, might be lower, I don't know. Whatever. We do it either way. We'll see what these players do right and what they do wrong. So pylon going up, it's not the wall, which is very confusing to me. You pretty much always want to wall off against Zerg. Now, if this was Protoss against random, you should still wall off at, put the first pylon at the wall just to make sure, and all that. So, I mean, against random, you should just always prepare for everything. Until then scouting is so crucial. So, anyways, it looks like Zerg getting up his Overlord on 11. I personally don't like that as much, but, if you want to do it, whatever. I'm not gonna whine about it. Protoss coming in here for some scouting. Gonna be checking to see if there's a hatchery or a what. We'll see if Zerg goes for the pool or for the hatchery first. Looks like Protoss is going to be doing an expansion, which is kind of crazy with his second pylon. The second pylon is super early here. I don't know if I like this at all because, to be perfectly honest, he should have a gateway going up right now. If he doesn't have a gateway going up right now, Zerg can just get in there with a bunch of Zerglings and kill him. So, yeah, there is a pool first. So, yeah, if Zerglings got in there, that would be hell for Protoss. So, getting that second pylon pushes that gateway back, pushes the cybernetics back, pushes back any possible sentries. So, I mean, I don't really like this at all. But let's see. If he puts on a Nexus, that might be okay. He's just kind of saying, okay, Zerg's not going to be attacking me. Whereas Zerg can attack him right now because he's getting a pool. So, this is kind of funky. Looks like, alright, now he has enough for an expansion, not going to be getting it. So this looks like it's not a very good level of play. Alright, so the probe's coming back to put down that Nexus. 100 minerals late. Try to get sooner for sure. I'm sure he's going to be coming back to mine. Nope, he's going to plop down a Forge. Alright, whatever, getting a Forge and a Nexus. Nexus first. Zerg is getting up that hatchery, so it's going to be just fine. Looks like just two sets, or actually just one set of Zerglings are popping out here, so Zerg's really not going to be able to do any damage with that. Yeah, so Zerg's playing actually decently here so far. Queen's coming out, we'll see how good his spew technique is or not. And, well, Protoss is watching the Watchtower, so that's good. And, alright, so there's a gateway going up, no cannon yet. Looks like the cannon's just being plopped down right now. And Valor, once again, if he was attacked, he'd be in a lot of freaking trouble here. The cannon, Zerglings can attack here, Zerglings could attack from this location and from this location, or just run by it. So I mean, there really is a lot that Zerg can do about that. Two pylons before a gateway thing. That's just not awesome. So anyways, Technique is running around with his Zerglings, just gonna be scouting around and all that good stuff. They actually did not even go by the probe, who is just gonna sit by the watchtower. So we'll see if he splits up these Zerglings. That would be the good thing to do, as they are the scout Zerglings. Keep one at the watchtower, have the other one check the fronts, and all that good stuff. Looks like he's just going to be coming in here and taking a hit from the cannon and sitting and chilling. Alright, that's fine. That went alright. Alright, so another cannon. Nope. Cannon, no, yes. Alright, well, the Zealot's out, and the Zergling's going to be forced to run for his life. So first Zealot, what is he doing with it? He's using it to attack, which is okay. I'm going to do a little light pressure with your first dude. It's okay, because you got a cannon out. Now, of course, if Zerg massed up a lot of Zerglings right now, this would actually not be safe at all. So, if you see two Zerglings like that, then generally speaking, you are going to be okay, but that doesn't mean that you're always going to be okay. That's pretty much like, oh, I'm assuming he's not making units because I see a couple of Zerglings. You don't want to do that either, really. But it is a little bit safer once you do see those two. Alright, so now he's producing some more droners. Let's see, drone counts. 37 drones to 29 probes. And he's sitting with a spine crawler as well as a third. So third's going up. And Valor has popped on a pylon. So let's see if Valor does a 6-gate. I don't believe he is going to, but we'll find out. He does have 2 gases, it looks like, for now. And, well, let's see. Yeah, Valor's just watching the watchtower. I don't like this at all from Valor. This looks like it's not a good play. He doesn't know that Zerg is not all ending him right now. Zerglings, with the speed, could easily run by this one cannon, take out all these probes, run some up here, take out all those probes, and Protoss would just lose. So, this is just not awesome. Looks like Technique has found that pylon at the bottom here. And he's just going to kill it off with that one Zergling. A couple of Zealots in the back here are going to be attacking that. But yeah, I really wish Technique would just keep some guys up here, And this is actually a wide choke. Like 4 Zerglings could attack a Zealot that's here, and I don't even know if that would cover the hole. So this is extremely unsafe. This SimCity is just not very awesome. Alright, so now the pylon has survived. The Zealot took out the Zergling. And, well, Technique doesn't even have his speed yet, so this is actually just no speed yet. Trying to get up your speed sooner, because you're gonna deny a lot of scouting, especially since you saw Zealots out. You want to get that freaking speed up. You want to just know where he's at. Now, since he is going for those roaches, that's gonna turn out okay. Don't necessarily have to get the speed, but I would prefer it because speed is awesome. I want to just say that. I've definitely lost games because I didn't have speed, and you can do counterattackings with it. You can expand more with it because you have Zerglings out instead of roaches. So I mean, I do prefer Zerglings and speed to roaches. This base would have been extremely unsafe if Protoss had more guys. Protoss actually has a ton of money right now for this early game stage. Definitely has a ton of gates. Wow, holy crap! He has 8 gateways. So I mean. Well, okay, no, 7 gateways. So, I mean, right now, this pylon, he should be adding on tons of guys. Yeah, and actually, he started to. So, this is actually going to be okay, it looks like. Technique does not have speed, just getting up some roaches. And since he has so many bases, creep spread is very crucial without that speed. And now the roaches coming out. And I don't think he has enough to defend this, to be perfectly honest. So, Valor's probably going to win this. Just because Zerg didn't have good scouting. He saw the pylon. Once you see the pylon, you really got to add on a bunch of guys or take it out and just make sure you have guys around the map. So Valor, actually, no, Zerg actually defended that with just a couple of spines and a couple of roaches and Zerglings, which is really surprising to me. And Valor just added on some more units. So Valor, I really wish I'd see him expand, Valor expand right now while he's doing this pressure. This is a mistake that a lot of players make. They just have a ton of units. They just, 2 base all in or 1 base all in, and I really wish that players are just not all in ever, because it's just not a good play. Turn that play into an expansion play with pressure instead of an all in. I'm gonna go kill him right now, because if you don't kill him, you lost. And Zerg is definitely winning this battle right now. He definitely has a lot of roaches and 3 bases, tons of drones. I mean, 58 drones to 44 probes. That's just not good for Protoss right now. And both players need to work on spending their money. Valor just spent some more on some more dudes, which is good. Yeah. Lots of roaches. Not going to be enough for Valor here. And yeah. Valor, don't. He's doing a little bit of a micro there, but that, you know, he should have pulled back after he saw a ton of roaches and was denied the first time. To be perfectly honest, once you have guys attacking in here and you see a Zerg force, even if you think you're going to maybe take it out, you should pull back, warp in some more guys, and then join up in the middle here with a whole bunch of guys, and then attack back, and then assault it. And just do that and try to lose as few units as possible if you have some damage units pulling back. You know, warping guys does not really take a lot of time, you know. You should have time to pull your units back. It's not like a huge thing that takes up and wastes a lot of your precious APM. So yeah, Protoss trying to do what he can, and he pretty much lost at this point. This is pretty much the equivalent of 4 gates off 1 base. He is doing 7 gates off 2. So with that in mind, you know, Zerg, look at this. Zerg has a ton of money, 3 bases, tons of drones, and he's able to defend it. So I mean, if he turned this into an expansion play, he'd be sitting much better, much better. And Zerg even has the +1 upgrade, so Protoss sitting in. Actually, Protoss does have the plus armor and plus attack for Stalkers. But yeah, this is just not going to be good. Zerg's easily going to be winning this game. And Protoss, oh, he's doing as much as he can, but again, without that expansion, without the Robo. The Robo could have been a little bit sooner, actually. I don't know, the expansion would have been a lot better, actually. So, Zerg just added on some dudes. Actually, he's doing a lot of teching. He's getting Hive Tech right now. Like, he's getting Hive Tech. He has a ton of extra money. He could definitely get a lot more roaches right now. And he's getting 20 roaches at a time. For the record, if you're Zerg, and you know it's like 14 minutes in the game, you should not be getting 20 roaches at a time. You should actually be producing fewer at a time as possible. Spend that larva ASAP. Now, if you're losing a battle and you really just needed a bunch of guys, then yeah, it's better to get them a bunch at once, since they're all going to be hatching at the same time. Then you can join them together at the same time, instead of hatching one at a time, you know, and then picked off. So in that regard, yes, it is better to do that, but you know, in this situation, don't do it as much. Alright, so now you got all your roaches out, you're attacking, and you're expanding. Technique's doing pretty good, and Valor's actually finally expanding. This should have been a lot freaking sooner. You know, Valor pretty much has to do damage. He had to do damage since he was all inning, and he didn't. So now Valor's in a terrible position right now, and Valor should be losing this game pretty soon here. A couple minutes. Technique could actually just build up even more roaches and just attack and kill him. But yeah, this is just not enough dudes. And yeah, now he's going up to the Watchtower. Huh? Nope, he's coming up here. For the record, just attack down the main route, you know? Like, there's no need to go like up and around and make it the long way. So now this base is going to be attacked. Protoss doesn't have even close to enough to defend this. So yeah, this base is gone. Let's see, Zerg continues to attack in here. He's continuing to make units, that's very good. Protoss not making any units right now, you can definitely add on some units. Attacking his forge by mistake. Yeah, he should have added on units. He's not even using his robotics facilities. He just added on a bunch of Stalkers. You're gonna definitely want to add on some units with those. If you're gonna build them, use them. If you're gonna build them, use them. It's not his final using them. And Zerg pretty much crushed his forces already. You know, if he had those classes out a lot sooner, he could have been a little bit better off. But yeah, Zerg has so many bases right now, and so much tech and so much everything. You're screwed. You know, once you all in like that and you lose, you should just GG. Be perfectly honest, because there's really not much you can do. So Zerg doing some more damage. Even has a bunch of units back here he could use right now. Broodlords could definitely be assaulting this location. While his ground force coming here and doing more damage. Come on, send them in. Send them in. Oh well. And yeah, now it doesn't have a lot of gas, but tons of minerals. I'm gonna add some Zerglings or expand even more. He's expanding right now, so that's good. I'm not gonna worry about it. So yeah, Technique had really good drone production early on, and just outdid his opponent on economy and on units. When it comes to macro, that means either A, you should be getting up a huge economy, and then well, I mean, it's kind of different for race, I guess. If you're going for an all-in like Protoss did, you have to have enough units. You have to guarantee damage. If you don't, you just lose. Or, for example, for Zerg, you just get up another base during that and get up even more drones. Or just drone up a lot. For macro, it means just, for Zerg, that means either getting a ton of drones or getting a ton of units. For other races, it means constantly producing workers and getting other units. Now, Protoss here just did not have a lot of units when he attacked compared to Zerg. Now, either because his attack was late, because of bad build order, or because he just didn't have enough. Either way, he should have expanded behind it and got his units out alive as soon as that started going badly, and he would have been really well after that. So, I don't know. I don't know what level of play this is, but it looks like it's not as high as I thought it, or I hoped it would be anyway. But well, either way, that's what you guys gotta work on. So, anyways, if you can't tell, I'm really tired. I'm gonna be signing off now. I actually did the first half like twice because I screwed up my microphone, and then XSplit, of course, died on me. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something from these casts, and well, hope you guys catch me next week, same time, same place. Doing a whole bunch of replays. So yeah, check it out. And you can actually continue to learn from watching these other analyses. Just getting to know different things. But yeah, I will be doing some fundamental videos soon. I'm not sure when. Might actually turn out to be after Christmas or after the New Year. So don't look for them. You can if you want, but I mean, I might not have them up. I will definitely announce it when I do have them up on my cast and my analysis. So look for that. And well, I'll see you guys next time. This is Magic signing off.